Hey, this is Nick and Raphael doing another podcast. I think I called the podcast the Reflection Room on my channel.
Nice.
So I was like, let's do reflection in the books that we're reading.
Let's go.
So today we're doing The One Thing. Subtitle: The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results. So I guess we'll do the overview of the book is basically you want to have less that you want, you want to have more of what you want to have less of what you don't want, you want to have more of what you do want, and you want to be effective in accomplishing that one most important thing. So what did you think of the books overall?
I want more precision in my life of being able to focus on, because there's so many things taking your focus. It's just like a commodity nowadays of where you pay your attention to, and being able to narrow it down. And for me, the book is really goes for like structure a little bit more, and I push away from structure. So it's some of the information I can't do. It'd be good for other individuals. I could see that, but there are some, like not multitasking and being able to narrow down your task lists of not just busy work but intentionality.
Little anecdotes that'll help people in their daily lives. Yeah, it's kind of strict the way the book is structured and the way like the author kind of talks, where it's like he says implement like these things and like do like time blocking, which for like the average person that's not really a possible thing, especially when life like throws curveballs at you every other day.
Oh yeah.
And like if you work, for example, like if you work in a job where like it's not a consistent like schedule or there's a lot of different factors that won't allow people to like follow like the strictness in this book. But I totally agree with you. It's like the ideas and like the anecdotes behind it you can actually use to your advantage in like when you're like critically thinking about like what to prioritize when you've got a bunch of different tasks to do.
Oh yeah.
So
this book reminds me of like other books I'm reading currently as well, of just like being intentional and being like aware of that like gut feeling as well. Another book I'm reading that really talks about gut feeling, and then it also provides research to support gut feeling of like your brain having this subconscious ability to know that things are coming or things are going to come. And it's like almost your brain has information that locks you out of just like scenarios and things that are going to happen in your life.
Okay.
It already has like some type of awareness, and it's very interesting.
Do you know the name of the book?
Yeah, it's called it's Dr. Tara Swartz. What is it called? Science. Yeah, The Science.
Okay.
Yeah, she kind of lost me originally with the book because she was talking a little bit of woo-woo and like just like her husband passed from cancer, and like she was seeing like birds and things that really remind her of him in her environment. But then she like started providing research to getting into the research to talk about end of life experiences and like that type of information.
Those are my favorite kind of books, the books that have like research backed. And like there's also that spectrum of like, would you call this like a personal development book?
Yeah, I would. I mean, if you're looking at it from that perspective, you could just see it as like a mindfulness and like
a mindset book.
Yeah, mindfulness and intentionality and like being aware of concepts that have a lot of stereotypes towards them as well.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of stereotype that ghosts and afterlife and everything is so like non-existent.
Yeah.
But it's based on like these cultures that have been around, and they've been like, especially Hispanic cultures.
Right.
They definitely depend on their ancestors talking to them more, and like they didn't provide research for it, obviously, the Hispanic culture, but like that was part of their cultures. But there's a good amount of research that I've been reading.
And it wouldn't like be tradition if it wasn't like successful and proven.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like all those, like considering like that book and this book, The One Thing, I think like there's a spectrum of books out there, and like they cover similar topics, but some are more practical. Like this one will this one kind of did a little bit of research and also like practical steps to take, whereas other ones will do like research and then also like concepts to think about that will help you, like the other book you were talking about. Yeah, this is a good one. One of the really cool topics that came up in this book was the domino effect, and it was like they mentioned how you can double like a domino's size and still like knock it over, and if you like continue down that progression of every single next domino is double the size, you can start with like a centimeter, like you can start with like a really, really tiny domino, like an inch tall domino, and then knock down like a domino like the size of a building. Mm-hmm. And he kind of relates that to being like focusing on the most important thing at the moment is going to knock down your next domino, and it's going to build that progression towards that ginormous goal you're after, that like that seems totally out of reach. Like when you think about it, you're like, I don't know if I can actually do that because it's such a big goal to have. But when you think about it like as a compounding effect, like the domino effect, it can actually get you there. And like keeping that mindset will keep you motivated to keep going too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like small steps I take in my day to prepare myself for the work that I'm not really paying attention to, not looking forward to. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, writing the papers, doing the projects, like it's important though, because like to have a mindset about it, because it's from a Hindu quote that they say to be grateful and appreciative for the challenging and difficult things you have in your life, because people don't have those challenges. People don't have those privileges.
The privilege of having that challenge, right?
Yeah, some people's real life are, you know, just making ends meet and sometimes not knowing for food and hearing gunshots out their window. It's like, you know, you got to wake up to the privilege of what we have in front of us.
That's right.
You know?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, I prepare myself, and I'm really mindfulness, and like I do yoga in the morning. I do meditation if I need it, and I just really pay attention to how my body feels and where my mind is right before I tackle my, you know, papers and things. Because if I'm going into like directly into work, like the things that I don't want to do, mm-hmm. or like not as motivated to do, it's just like I'm slogging through it compared to if I prepare my mind with like yoga or mindfulness or meditation.
Right.
I'm able to more, you know, accepting and just enjoying it and being immersed into it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I don't know where I heard it, but it reminds me of like this principle I heard of like it was like either 4 or 5 daily wins. It's like a mental win, a physical win, a spiritual win, and a career win or something like that.
Yeah.
But
have you had a spiritual win today?
Have I had a spiritual win? Maybe not yet.
Spiritual?
Maybe not yet. I mean I am. I like reading a lot of like Eastern philosophy. I was like a Zen practitioner for like a few years.
Oh, nice.
And I used to meditate every single day. And I used to research like Eastern texts. Like I probably read the Tao Te Ching probably like 10 times.
Do you still meditate?
Not as much as I should. I should do it more in the mornings. My mornings are more, I'm really like action focused right now. Like I'll read my book, I'll go get some fresh air. I guess that's sort of my spiritual, is like just going on a walk in the morning and getting fresh air before I start my work day.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think I'll do, for like the mental win, I think that's my reading. For spiritual, I would say probably going on a walk and just enjoying the sunshine and the fresh air. And then I think I try and get exercise in, even if it's 5 minutes. I talk about this on my YouTube channel every once in a while, where I talk about like consistency and the importance of it, and like those wins that you get each day, like mental, physical, spiritual. If you just get if you say, I'm just gonna try this out for 2 minutes, whatever it is, like I'm just gonna meditate for 2 minutes, I'm just gonna lift weights for 2 minutes, I'm gonna do whatever for 2 minutes, and if I want to quit after 2 minutes, I can quit. If I want to keep going, I can keep going. But it's like, if I get those 2 minutes in, and I get those 2 minutes in every single day at a minimum, that consistency has like a snowball effect that's going to get you moving forward faster and faster the more you do it. Similar to like the domino effect we were talking about.
What's a consistent, maybe a difficult routine that you have?
A difficult routine.
Yeah, that you have consistency with a difficult routine.
Right now for me, it's my puppy Canelo. I'm trying to get him to go out on a walk every day at the same time. That's pretty hard. Being a puppy parent is hard. It's harder than you think.
Yeah.
If you've never done it before. There's potty training, and like I gotta train him to I gotta like leave it is a really important command we're training, because you know, like we live in Chicago and there's like random shit on the street that could be poisonous, or you know, you never know.
Yeah.
So it's really important to train him not to eat shit that's on the ground.
Okay.
But yeah, I would say probably puppy parenting. It's a big one. What about you? Any discipline?
Routine is for me is TikTok, and then not being on TikTok too much, and then
that's a
just
good
being
one.
like intentional of where my time is, and like not letting time slip away. I'm like
Yeah.
I tell myself I'm gonna do it, and then I'm like, you know, time passes and it's like, oh shit, you know, and I start feeling the time crunch.
Yeah, I've got a funny story. Me and my wife Isela, we for the past like month, we would come home, we'd be tired from work, and then we would sit down on the couch and watch TV for like an hour or two.
Yeah.
And like eventually we like you're unconscious of it like for a while, and then after a while you're like, oh my god, I just spent like every night this week watching TV and wasted 2 hours a night.
Yeah.
And so what we decided to try our best to cut TV for the weekdays and only watch TV on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even watch TV much. I just scroll on TikTok and like,
Yeah, I see
or
that.
just like read like random gaming articles or something.
Gotcha.
I just got to be a little bit more intentional in my time. It's like I try to get myself like out in the public spaces too. I go to my college and go to my cafes and stuff. Just it's nice to have the camaraderie of like other people working as well. It just helps me get that space.
Absolutely. I need more of that. I've been staying home because of the puppy, but I'm gonna start going to like more coffee shops that have like outdoor seating.
Oh, nice.
And just bring him along.
Heck yeah.
Get him
he'll enjoy that.
Yeah, I mean, get them socialized, right? Having them socialized so that they don't like freak out in public, and then also just me being able to work around other people who are working. It's probably a good thing.
The book really talks about the Pareto effect. I've read
Pareto.
I've heard that as well in different areas. It talks about like a good amount of the like top earners in a field, and it'll be like only a few people making like the most significant sales. Say if it's like a thing that's focused on sales, it'll be like the top 5 or 6 people make an insane amount of sales compared to the rest of the individuals that work there.
Right.
It's like from what I got from the concept, it's like focused on the cream of the crop, and like really individuals that are just have these whatever it is, the routines, the intentionality to get the results that they're looking for.
Yeah. I think and also like I think it's important to like think about these things how we can take advantage of them. So like the Pareto, the extreme Pareto is you write down a list of it's basically the 80-20 principle, where like 80% of your success is going to come from 20% of the work. And but what he mentions in the book is like you want to write down like 25 to-dos. What are your to-dos that you need to get done today? And then curate that, take 20% of that, which is 5, and figure out what the 5 out of that list of 25, what are the 5 most important things you need to do that it's going to move the needle the most towards your whatever goal you're setting for yourself. And then you do that again, 20% of the 5, which is the one thing. The title of the book, The One Thing. Figure out your one thing that you need to focus on today that's going to move the needle forward the most towards whatever goals you have, whether that's like financial, physical, spiritual, whatever whatever is most important to you right now. For a lot of people, I feel like it's financial.
Yeah, I
right, in the world we live in today.
Yeah, in the current, like, for the audience members, like, I would, you know, I see so many people that are just depressed and very, like, how do I start? This is so much to even, like, progress towards these finances and things that you're talking about.
It
like,
can be overwhelming, right?
It's the small steps, though. It's the small steps in your routine and evaluating and, like, maybe journaling about them, writing it down of, like, what steps I've taken to improve whatever it is. You know, if it's, even if it's, like, taking a walk outside for 5 minutes or doing a yoga class for, like, half hour, something, and joining a yoga class if you have that privilege. Like, it's building community. People need community. And so, you know, we're getting away from face-to-face interactions, and, like, you just need to know the person in front of you and being, like, intentional in the conversation.
Yeah, building relationships.
Yeah.
We kind of like in this world we live in, we kind of replaced our relationships with people with technology, like our phones and like whatever, maybe like a YouTube content creator or maybe like a TV show. I mean, and nowadays it's like AI. If you're like talking to AI a lot, you're not building a real relationship with another human being too. So it's so important. Which is why I'm happy we got together today. It's been a minute, and I'm glad to reconnect with a friend.
Yeah,
it's fun, dude.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Just both were insanely busy trying to get what we want from life. And
that's right.
For me, it's, you know, building more stability for finances, and then finding more communities. Like I just pitched to my professor of having like a book club where he hosts it, and then like maybe I'm trying to get like other people. Like I've asked my therapist if he would be interested.
Sure.
He works at Loyola, and like I wanted to just be intentional and like read the books that he suggested, and I don't know, just have a community as well.
I would
have a community as well.
I'm super interested in that. If you're pitching it, are you trying to like get that to the masses?
Yeah, if anything.
I was gonna say we could. Yeah. If anybody listening, hit up Raphael.
Yeah, it'd be focused on just like more, just like how to be accessible to politics and being able to think about these structures in place that have been in place politically.
Okay.
And like, you know, he suggested to me to read Aristotle's Politics, and then also J.D. Vance's his book that there's so much stereotype about him. He came from like a really rural area and like super poor, and like it gives the background of who he really is.
Oh wow.
I mean, he turned into a political monster nowadays.
Right.
It's up to speculation, but
right.
you never, you know, like, it's so much power.
Yeah, I didn't know about that history.
Yeah,
that's good stuff. Yeah.
But back to the book.
The world around us is crazy right now.
Back to the book of being able to.
So the another concept, the other big concept in this book is, I don't know how much I agree with this personally, but like he talks about time blocking and like he's like, for 1 hour in the morning, plan from 8 a.m. to noon, do your one thing, which is like, that's like that works if if you're working on a business that's yours. But like most people work 8 a.m. to noon, and then they get home and they got to deal with family stuff, and like you've got all these other responsibilities that sometimes are more, I guess, they're more important than like time blocking for whatever future goal you have, you know, because it's more immediate. But I think that's one of the things the book didn't really talk about, which I think could have been mentioned more, was like, what do you do when you have day-to-day stuff that's really important that you can't like take out of your schedule to spend time on your goals in your future, right?
Yeah,
so
there's so many. I mean, I can only imagine
caveats.
if I had kids or like a wife or something.
If you have
it's something to, like, I mean, I do full-time work and then full-time school. It's so much already, and I feel like I have to be just very intentional and not just busy work. Intentional with my schedule, intentional with the things that I'm doing, the assignments, the readings, the even interacting with the people at school, like I got to be intentional with that, because like if you're just going there to get the knowledge and then go, it's you're wasting some of your time, because you're not building the community, you're not talking to professors, you're not getting the information that other people wouldn't, because maybe they have like anxious feelings about it, they have intense feelings. It's just being okay with those intense feelings and like, you know, accepting them and being grateful for them, and then doing it still.
Yeah, and squeezing the juice out of every opportunity that's given to you. Yep. To move up the ladder in life.
You know that it's something that old age, that a quote is the closed mouths don't get fed. Like if you're not going up to the girl, going up to the guy, talking about how you feel, and you're not going up to the job interview saying, hey, I'm interested. It's people aren't going to do it for you.
Right.
It's going to be based on your advocacy for yourself to make those opportunities.
Yeah, a lot of like self-reliance and like self-accountability is required for a lot of these things. Yep. And that's why I can see like how other people who don't have experience like being self-accountable, how that can be like really hard to dedicate yourself to like mentally. Yep. And so I feel like this book is great, but it definitely needs like a complementary like mindset and also like lifestyle kind of book.
That's how the book that
I feel like.
The one by Tara Swart, she's a psychiatrist and like neurologist. Yeah. She has a supplemental journal, like workbook that she does with her book as well. And it's very reflective and like makes you sit down with yourself and evaluate your routines, your intentionality, and like, you know, how you talk to yourself. It's very interesting how that work can be difficult, but it'll give you benefit if you really put intentionality towards it. Yeah. Intention, attention is everything, right? Intention and attention. Yeah.
Yeah. So to close the book, there's one, I forget what the name of the chapter is, but there's like four big ideas. One, you want to commit to be your best. Two, you want to be purposeful about your one thing. Be very purposeful about what you're taking action on. Take ownership of the outcomes and find a coach. And then there's the four thieves. The four thieves are, what is it? Inability to say no is a thief. The fear of chaos will stop you. Poor health habits will stop you. And your environment, if it doesn't support your goals, will stop you. And it kind of talks about the effect of how much of an impact those things have on you. Which I feel like is true. If you're more intentional about like your environment and like how you interact with other people, how often you say yes or no is like how you're prioritizing your time, right? Because we all have a fixed time, and figuring out exactly how you're going to spend that is kind of what the book's all about, right?
Yep.
So
how do you get away from a challenging environment though, or how do you adjust to a challenging environment? And when I say challenging environment, I mean like people that want you to do drugs, people want you to drink alcohol, do violence, whatever it is that is normalized in that more difficult environment compared to like Wrigleyville or Lincoln Park. You know, the south side of, you know, the Cicero, Berwyn, in Chicago. Those are the areas that are difficult, and like,
right.
You know, like I was there and giving therapy to another person, and like I didn't realize about the area. It's literally every 10 minutes there's an airplane that flies over. So you can't even have a conversation like we are right now without an airplane flying over insanely loud. You have to pause in your conversation and then come back to it. Right. It was such a weird thing to adjust to. But it was also eye-opening for me to be thankful for my environment.
Right.
That I can just have a conversation with a person outside.
Yeah. The book doesn't have an answer to that. Yeah. And neither do I. I feel like the closest you can come is just I think if at that point your goal should be to become financially independent, even with like how high rent is these days, becoming financially independent and then like finding an apartment somewhere else, just like getting yourself out of that environment, which should be like your number one priority, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, but that, I mean, like, how do you deal with that when the normalized thing to do is to do violence or sell drugs or like be, not? Do you do those things to get out of the environment and then, or
that's a good point.
Like, what happens there? Because like your environment's going to shape you. Your environment's going to influence you, and
right.
We look at it as so bad, but then that's just they're doing what they need to survive to eat.
Right.
We all got to eat.
And also it's also people who grow up without educated people around them.
Yep.
So it's hard for them to get educated on the right thing to do. Like they don't know that they can get educated enough to take the right steps in like school and education. That'll get them out of there. And the financial literacy is a huge thing, right? That doesn't get taught to poorer families, right? So I think that should be something they should add to school, more financial literacy, just to be able to live more comfortably in the real world. And like you said, I think you need more alternatives, but sometimes, like you said, those alternatives aren't there. Because you're not, they're not in your physical environment, and two, they're not in your like mental environment. Like you're not educated enough to find those. So
for me, if I was placed in that situation and like the difficult environments, like it would be up to me to make it happen, to be accountable to, okay, I'm going to talk to different people. I'm going to maybe talk to white people that I have weird feelings towards because I'm Hispanic, black, or whatever it is. And I'm, those are the individuals, unfortunately, that you're going to learn the most about finances and like getting away from a difficult environment, because that's not their environment. And they're like, what is that environment? Teach me.
Right.
And I mean, it's about connecting communities as well. Like as a Mexican, like I still look at black individuals and like I feel like I'm not accepted, but it's about looking past those initial feelings and judgments and still talking to the person anyway.
Right.
Because you might learn from them, and they might be wanting to talk to you, and you might be wanting to talk to them, and you guys have no idea.
Well,
it's just
also the more different somebody is from you, the more you're going to learn from them.
Yeah.
Right.
So my therapist is white. My therapist is a white male.
Yeah.
As a Mexican, it's like he doesn't know anything about my culture and like everything, and like he initially came into the therapy and was like, hey, I'm a white male. I have no idea about your culture.
Yeah.
And that was very nice to hear from a person that's giving you professional advice, like to make those awareing. Like I did that recently for my client too. I told her, hey, I don't have a physical disability. I don't have your same culture, and I'm a male.
Right.
She's an Asian woman who has a physical and mental disability. Like it's like making those clear things, and like it's a form of support. A form of support, calling out your own privileges for other people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's important to get those things out in the open and like just understand like the realities of the situations and the people around you to connect with them better.
Yeah, connecting with them. Well, most people are more respectful of if you try to connect on a real level instead of like tiptoeing around subjects and like tiptoeing around like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say this, but
right.
I mean, I'm a pretty direct person, and I talk like super like, I don't know. It's some people love it, some people hate it.
Yeah, I personally love it. I try to be that way as well. Be a little more candid, but like warm, like a warm candid, right? Is kind of the goal. So it's hard though. It's definitely hard with like I think getting people to open up is hard, right? Yeah,
and I mean opening up like for my own therapy, like I share quite a bit of myself to my clients, which is usually unheard of as a therapist. It's the therapist is supposed to be just there listening, almost like a blank slate. And like I don't do that because I like to share my experiences. I like to share my difficulties to then relate to the individual and
Yeah.
have them know that, I'm going to give you this trusting information, and you're going to give me this trusting information. It's difficult to talk to a person when you have you don't know anything about them.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I'm not telling you like go into a conversation and like start talking about crazy stuff, but at least like ask them a deeper question initially when you get to them.
Yeah, and don't be afraid,
like, hey, yeah.
right? Because like I think people have like will have those thoughts, but like won't ask that actual question.
Yeah.
And like it's important to explore those like topics that are like hiding in the dark a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's getting away from the surface area questions and like discussing with a person like for initial relationships.
Yeah.
Like, I even if I find a serious person, I sometimes use it as like a silly thing of like, hey, what's your favorite dinosaur?
Yeah.
Sometimes people are receptive to that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, especially if it's like somebody you're meeting for the first time, throwing something like crazy out there.
Yeah.
Well, one, it's gonna make you more memorable, and two, it's gonna like get the person to open up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. I do. I like researching like communication, how to communicate with people better, like you said, like being able to being open to like connecting with people like strangers and communities around you more often, but also like knowing how to communicate in a way that does that more successfully.
What's like a significant relationship that you've made recently that you're just like, oh god, I think thankfully I did this, and like maybe you had weird feelings and initial like, oh, maybe I shouldn't make this conversation, and it's like difficult to make this conversation with this person?
Sure. Yeah, I think for me it was I went to this networking event it's called Connecting Dots for Latinx Professionals, and I met this guy named Luke who works in downtown, and he's like in the same like field as me professionally. He's in tech, and we connected at first, we didn't know each other that well, and I felt like I didn't open up enough about like who I was, what I was trying to do, where I was trying to go, and like at the first part of the conversation, but like towards the end, I opened up a little bit more, and like it was smoother. I think like I have to work on my introductions, because once you're past that and you kind of have like a rhythm to the conversation, it's a lot smoother, right? So, yeah. How about you?
For me, a recent relationship I made was just from people from class, and like getting myself to talk to more people and like know that I'm not just studying by myself. I can make communities and make other people that are doing the same things as me, and why not do that? Right. You shouldn't work alone. It's such pressure to be individualistic in America, and like you don't have to do it. You don't have to succumb to that individualistic. You can make your collectivism communities. That people, collectivism means like having support systems, having people around you that are doing like-minded things. Want your success.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
So like my thought was like, you're actually hindering yourself when you're not making connections to other people. Like you could be so much further ahead if you just asked somebody for help, or if you had like a friend who was doing the same thing with you to keep you accountable and like have your momentum stick. You know what I mean? And like there's so much you can learn from other people. There's so much that other people are out there ready to teach you, and like if you just ask, they would teach you, and they would talk to you about it, and you would build real relationships that like might lead to the next like job that you have. Like there's so much advantage to like putting yourself out there, and people are just don't want to do it because it's just it's an effort and it's fear.
Yeah,
of social situations.
That's a good way to make a new connection is having the person teach you whatever it is that you're doing, even if it's small. Like I climb, and like I made a connection with this like 11, 12-year-old competition climber, and I had him literally teach me just like footwork and like how he does it, and he was I could see it in his eyes of like how grateful he is to teach it to an older individual, because probably older individuals don't talk to him as much, or like look down on him, and don't think that he has anything to share. These kids are super freaking smart. You'd be surprised on how much you can learn from like a 12-year-old. Because they're just born into the technology instead of us adapting to it.
That's right.
They're just born into they're little robots, and
they were molded by it.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah. No, I love talking about like any sort of topic that involves like skill building, like climbing. I love talking like technicalities and stuff like that.
And I mean the yoga, the climbing, working out, whatever it is that you do to get your body right and like feel, that's helping you practice intentionality too, and like being able to, being intentional about if you have like a bar above you and you're doing you're laying down and doing bench press. Like you're being intentional about that bar not falling on your face. You're being intentional about being in that space and working out, and that's the only thing that should be the only thing you're focusing on, because everything else is outside of that area. Everything else you're preparing yourself. If you're focused on all the future things, past things, you're not really focused on the workout. You're not there. Yeah. And who knows, there might be a cute woman or a man that walks up and you're not even paying attention. You could have a relationship from that.
There you go.
You're too focused on taxes and finances and everything else in your head.
And there you go. You miss what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Being intentional, working out, just being intentional with how you're moving your muscles, like in the space that you exist in, like that can be a really good meditation too. Yeah. I've been doing handstands recently, and it forces you to be intentional, because you're upside down and you're like, your blood is rushing to your head. You're upside down. Everything is left, right, straight, forward, and you're just focused on not smashing your face into the floor. And it doesn't matter what's going on. If you have a relationship, falling. Hey everybody, I just wanted to close off the podcast. We got cut off. Our battery died. I just wanted to say Raphael is an awesome guy. He is a seasoned therapist and a social science student. If you want to learn more about his book club, hit up his Instagram at Rafael Herrera 4624. And if you're interested in digital marketing services, you can reach me at strickerdigital.com, where I help coaches, educators, and mentors build online ecosystems. If you like the topic or you have some thoughts on what we covered, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And have a great day.